Shabbat Shalom, Israel. I'm gonna give a call like Yahweh Bashim Mashak Malak Yahshua, man. That's Yahweh being the name of dear Heavenly Father and His Son Yahweh Shah, who the world intimately called Jesus Christ. Soldier Donovan, Soldier Razatop, with the first works Friday, where we done repented. We gotta remember when we failed. We don't repent, now we come back to the Lord, man, wholeheartedly, man. Battle Axe family, man, y'all know the song, man.
I thought you was gonna sing.
I'll probably sing at the end. Look, I'm gonna sing at the end of this one, man. Lord will. But shalom to brothers and sisters that tune in. Shalom to brothers and sisters that will tune in. Hope this class is edifying to y'all. Title of the class, as y'all can see, is the Feast of Purim. Feast of Purim. Or as my proper brother Gabar likes to say, Purim. Purim, or Pearl. Benaniyah like to say, Pearl. But you know, shalom, y'all, man. This class is going into the Feast of Purim. As y'all know, it came in last night of the evening, as well as Destruction of Nicanor left, and then Purim came right behind it. So, you know, Officer Barakai and myself, I did a marvelous class Wednesday, had a great time Thursday, and now we're just celebrating getting to the spirit of Purim, man. Both of these mean a lot. But let's kind of get into it, man. First precept we're going to get is Proverbs 28:4. Proverbs 28:4.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 4.
Bring it up.
They that forsake the law praise the wicked.
Guess what, man? And I want to pull this Wednesday because we know alchemists. You know, this is the forsake the law. They praise the wicked. Think how bad he was just messing with them and love the other nation so bad, right? But it says they that forsake the law praise the wicked, right? Read.
But such as keep the law,
Right? Read.
contend with them.
Read that again. Right?
But such as keep the law,
Like we're finna read, right? With Mordecai, with Esther, with the people that had behind them, Israel behind them, right? Read.
contend with them.
Guess what? They contended for those things, man. They contended for the faith. They contended for the things that they believed in. And that's what we're finna get into today, man. Let's go ahead and get in it, man. Esther 1:1. We're gonna do some good little reading, brothers and sisters, getting some good history, and just, you know, hey, giving a reverence and giving an honor that our forefathers deserve. Esther 1:1. Get back there, going ahead, get to it.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 1, and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 127 provinces. That in those days, when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace.
So this is going into King Ahasuerus, right? It tells you all he reigned from India all the way into Ethiopia, right? Watch this, read verse 3.
Verse 3, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces, being before him.
Go ahead. Oh, my bad. So in his 3rd reign, he made a feast, right? And this is important to get off the main subject of the story. He made a feast, right? Knowing he's a king, he invited over the other powers, the princes, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and the princes, because we know anything about what was going on in Nehemiah. Like, I'm gonna ask y'all twins, what captivity was Nehemiah in? Persian and Medes, right? All praise. So guess what? Look at Ahasuerus. He's having a meeting with the Persians and the Medes, right? Guess what? They all sharing, you know, kingdomship and everything like this. Because, you know, after this, I was looking into it. I didn't get a definite answer. But this is I'm following the Persian and the Medes. But after this, there was a last kind of time before it went all the way over to the Greek captivity. That's why you have those things that's kind of so close to one another. But watch this. Read on. Right? Verse 4.
Verse 4. When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days.
So guess what? This party and this feast lasted 180 days. Big turning up. That's literally turning up half a year. But watch this. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. Also,
Vashti.
Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
So guess what? This is his wife, the queen. He was like, well, the men having a party. Well, I'm finna have a party, right? Well, they throwing down. They having good times. Well, I'm finna throw one just for us and the sisters, right? Read.
Verse 10. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine.
So, you done had a little to drink, man. He chilling. He happy. He fun, right? Read.
He commanded Nehuma of Biztah,
Yeah.
Harbon, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus, the king, to bring, you said this?
Yes, Vashti,
the queen before the king, with the crown royal.
Crown Royal. Read on that.
To show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look upon.
So the king, he was feeling good and feeling married. He wanted his wife, right? When you're having a good time, let's say the music going, festival. You're like, well, hey, tell my wife to come over here, right? But we know reading on, she was having her own party. She was doing her own thing. And you finna see, right? So he told his people, hey, go request my wife, tell her to come here, right? We big chilling, we big kicking, and tell them to come, right? Read on now.
But the queen, Vashti, refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamber.
So she was like, man, no, I'm having fun. I'm with all the girls. We having a good time. No, I refuse the king, right? Read.
Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
So of course that made somebody mad, and of course he already had a little drink in his system. Guess what? If he want his wife, hey, he want to have a good time, and she, I refuse. I don't want to go. And of course, they not black, but I'm not going with you, Ahasuerus. I don't want to go with you. I'm having fun with my sisters. You know how that go, right? Read on now.
Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that do law and judgment.
So guess what? He went to his enchanters. He went to the people. He's asking them questions now. Hey, I'm gonna ask y'all something, right? Read.
And the next unto him was Karshina, Shathar, Admantha, Tarshish, Mirius, I think Marcinus. I know
I'm
messing up on these.
No, you good now. I had to practice too.
Maris, Marcina, and Mumakan, the 7 princes of Persia and Mede, which saw the king's face, and which set the first in the kingdom.
So guess what, man? These are the princes of Persia. Now they see him mad and in his feelings. And guess what? If Ahasuerus is a leader, and guess what? He's having a good time. Guess what? You don't want your guests to see you acting like this and getting out of character. You want to be in complete order, just like with your household. Let's say you're having a get together, and guess what? If you're the head of the household and you say, hey, you tell your wife to come here. Or let's say, hey, I'm doing something. I say, hey, Rod, go get my wife for me. And she tell him, no, nigga. You tell him I said that. Now, his countenance don't fail. So guess what? You can't look stupid in front of y'all. He got to put in some action, right? He got to be the man. And he got to be the king ultimately, right? Watch this. Read on.
Verse 15. What shall we do unto the queen? Vashti, according to law, because she had not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chambers.
So guess what? Now they asking the question, well, what shall we do to her, right? Read.
And Memucan answered before the king and the princes.
So this is one of the people of Persia, right? Read.
Vashti, the queen, had not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes.
So guess what? They took disrespect in that too, right? Because, hey, when you present it to the man, hey, let's say it's a Sabbath day and the sisters come and serve the men first. That's like she said, well, I ain't gonna serve my husband, nor you niggas. No, you fancy pants niggas, right? I don't care about none of y'all. It's me. It's Vashti. I got my own party. I'm chilling. I don't care. Guess what? Not only did she disrespect the husband, guess what? She disrespected all the men at that table, right? Read on.
And to all the people that are in all the provinces,
right,
of the king Ahasuerus.
So not only to him, the people that was in there, but guess what? To his whole kingdomship, showing that he doesn't have things in order, right? Read.
For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands.
Because guess what? He knew that thing right there could spread like a disease. Guess what? It takes one woman of power to disrespect their husband. Guess what? Now everybody want to disrespect their husband. Beyonce did it. Let me do it. Cardi B did it. Let me do it. I don't like my nigga no way. What sexy red say? You know, F my baby daddy. Now you got everybody saying it. Guess what? People who happily married go around saying it now. Guess what? With her doing that one thing, he knew this thing could do a trickle down effect, right? Read.
And despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king of Harsut commanded Vashti, the queen, to be brought in before him, but she came not.
So guess what? He told her to come again, and she didn't come, man. I'm talking about, hey, she's. Well, you got to read this thing to start it off, because you see why his anger was so hot and why he had to do what he do, and we get an order with this thing, right? Read.
Be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of the Persian and Media shall say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt, and wrath.
So guess what, man? So he said, not only gonna fall on my people, now it's gonna go on the Persian and Medes women and children. Now they want to disrespect and do the same exact thing, right? Read.
If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before king or Harsut, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
That's right. Read on.
And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be public throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small.
So guess what, man? The decree he wanted to call out, man, he said, I'm going to put this out in my kingdom that, guess what? Wives, y'all can't disrespect your husband at all. And guess what? Not only in my kingdom, I'm going to spread it to all this kingdom. Guess what? So not one stone not unturned. Guess what? Then the person to me, you'd be like, well, it's not written in the law for me to serve you, nigga. Oh, it's not a commandment where I got to do it. Vashti did it. Why can't I do it? But guess what? He said, this decree right here, I'm going to spread it abroad everywhere. Everybody's going to know this decree, right? Read.
Verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word of Mumukan.
Yeah,
Mumukan. Okay.
Yeah, so my bad. So guess what? Him hearing all these things, he was like, okay, that sounds good. Because of the king, then you know the princes of the Persian and Medes, right? He said, okay, well, I get it. All right, but let's do it, right? Read.
Verse 22. For he sent letters unto all the king's provinces, unto every province according to the written, the writing, thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man shall bear rule in his own house.
Read that again.
That every man shall bear rule in his own house.
Just guess what? That's what it all started off with, was him getting disrespected by his wife. But guess what? The Lord ordained these things. You know, the Lord has control over everything. Because at this time, think about it, if we still jump from captivity to captivity, we still in captivity here. It took for this to happen, for his wife to disrespect him. Guess what? For the princess to conjure up something, a decree, in order for Esther to come into the play, like we're going to read on in chapter 2. How Mordecai to come into play in chapter 2 with Israelites, right? But all these things had to happen before you could know even what Purim about, right? Read.
And that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Right. Read on. Chapter 2 and 1.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 2 and verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti. And what she had done, and what was decreed against her.
So guess what? Now he kind of done calmed down a little bit. He like, I'm cool. Now he start kind of recollecting, thinking about the wife. Man, he's like, damn, I done made a whole decree. Now what she done did, I'm like, damn, she crazy for that. You know, the wine done got out of his system. he can kind of think a little straighter. So he's like, dang, okay. All right, I know. I'm thinking about I'm meditating on it, right? Read.
And what she had done, and what was decreed against her.
Right.
Verse 2. Then said the king's servant that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king.
Guess what? Now he like, well, my wife gone. He was like, well, shoot, I need somebody else to come replace it. So guess what? Now I'm gonna request for the women. Go send me some fair young virgins, man. What's up? What you got?
So when he snaked her free, he was like, all right, tell her not to even come back.
Yeah, he cast it off.
Yeah.
He cast it off. Because guess what? That's what they can do. Guess what? We know as Israel, we can't cast off our wife just for not listening to us. It's got to be for fornication, adultery. It has to be for those type of things. But see, he not a bus.
Right.
So he just did it because he the king. Well, I got rid of him. Bye. But now he needs somebody to replace that thing, man. He's like, well, I need some fair young virgins. He wants to upgrade. He wanted him a new pony, right? Read.
In verse 3. And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom.
Why? Read.
That they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace.
So guess what he said? Man, I'm gonna appoint some more officers in all the provinces of the kingdom just to give me some women. Man, that's crazy. Think if you got hired, hey man, just go down the street, man, go look for the baddest females and send them to Shushan. That's it. Like that's crazy. But watch this. Read.
To the house of the women,
Mm-hmm.
unto the custody of Hedge, the king's chamber,
Mm-hmm.
keeper of the women,
Right.
and let their things for purification be given them,
Right. Read on.
and let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti.
Nasty.
And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
So guess what? This was the stipulations, right? He was like, well, find them, bring them. We're gonna put it through purification, right? Get them clean, wash them up, get them all through royal apparel and stuff. He said, and the maiden who makes him feel the best about him, okay, well, she's gonna be the queen, right? And that thing made him happy about it. He was like, well, all right, man, let's do it, right? Read.
Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew.
There was a who?
There was a certain Jew
So now we get into how we come into the play of this thing, right? Read.
whose name was Mordecai,
So this is Mordecai, right? Read.
the son of Jair, the son of Shema, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
So guess what, man? Mordecai was a Benjamite, man. A Benji. Tough, man. I don't know if he fought with his left hand. I don't know. You gonna have to see, man. But watch this. Read on, huh?
Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jochanaan,
Yeah.
king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
So guess what? Mordecai got carried from the Babylonian captivity into what captivity is it in now?
Persian me.
See? So he been in captivity for some time. He was in the Babylonian captivity. Then he got taken straight into the Persian Medes captivity, right? So he been locked up for a good little minute, right? Read.
Verse 7. And he brought up Hadassah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hadassah. That is Esther,
So guess what? That's Esther, right? Read.
his uncle's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
For she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
So guess what? He took as his own daughter, but guess what? That was really his niece. He took as his own daughter, right? Because that's his uncle's daughter. So he took him. Yeah, that is right, niece.
Brother's daughter.
That'd be cousin.
His cousin.
His uncle's daughter.
Oh, uncle's daughter. So like that's his cousin.
His cousin.
But he took him as his own daughter, man. That's tough, man. Because guess what? He had no father. She had no father, no mother. He took it from the uncle. Like, well, hey, I'm gonna take it as mine, right? Read.
So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard,
Mm-hmm.
and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace,
Mm-hmm.
to the custody of Haggai,
Mm-hmm.
that Esther was brought also unto the king's house,
Mhm.
to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women.
Right, read.
And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her her things for purification.
Guess what, man? Esther walked in there. He's like, yeah, I gotta have that. Send her straight through. Speed, hey, get her ass clean now today. Guess what, man? All the other females probably wasn't Israelites at that time, and even some of them was. Guess what? Hey, Esther probably look real good, man. For him to look at her and send her straight through and get her purified now. Speed. He said, speedily do it, man. Read on now.
Gave her her things for purification.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he came in, he like, this all the stuff you need for purification here, man. He get it done.
Hurry up. Hurry up.
Expeditious.
Read.
With such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her out of the king's house, and he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house.
Guess what? My bad. So like, not only did she get picked first out of all of that, she got put in the best place in the house. I'm talking about what they used to say in slavery, that he in the big house now. Move from outside to the big house. Quick, just like this. Guess what? They used to have our women like that, man. And guess what? Think about it. Think about how they did during slavery. Guess what? Think about the king. The king would be a plantation owner. He see a fair, young, little black Judah sister. Hey, get her in here. Go clean her up. Go wash her up. Go put her in a nice room. Because guess what? That's what I want for me. Because think about this thing. Yeah. Was Esther supposed to marry him? Yeah, no. We ain't supposed to make no marriages with him. But guess what? We in captivity. She got to do whatever she want to do if she want to live. But look how the Lord worked with this thing, right? Read.
Esther must have been ready.
Man, Esther had to be a yellow bone. She had to be bad, man. For him to man, hey, man, no, her straight through. Her maid straight through to the top of the house, right? Read.
Verse 10. Esther had not showed her people, nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
Guess what? So he told her, he said, hey, when you go in there, don't tell them don't tell them you no Jew.
Right.
Don't tell them, hey, you Israelite. Don't tell them nothing. Because guess what? They gonna come get us. They know better. Right? Watch this. Go to let's jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his place, royal, in the 10th month, which is the month Sabbath, and the 7th year of his reign.
Mm-hmm. Read.
And the king loved Esther above all the women.
Guess what? He's like, man, I can't get enough of Esther, man. Read.
And she obtained grace and favor in his sight, more than all the virgins.
Read.
So that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Guess what, man? And I'm talking about Esther ain't doing nothing. She ain't doing nothing spectacular because she didn't want nothing. All the other people probably requested a whole lot. I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? She didn't need the party. She didn't need none of this stuff. He was like, man, I want you. And I made her queen. Guess what? He didn't do much. You see how it went from he picked out of the bunch, made her queen within the same chapter. So she had to be worth something. But guess what? We know it's ordained from the Lord. But just look how bad. Even think how bad Esau like our women to this day. They'll love a Judah. I'm talking about they'll kill themselves over a Judah sister, man. They will. I'm talking about man. I ain't even gonna say that. Read on that.
Verse 18. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king.
So I'm talking about he big happy. He ready to show her off, man. Big feast on me. Everybody comes to the palace. Shushan, 6 o'clock, right here today. Everybody, y'all can have gifts. He just throwing paper out there. Think about giving gifts. What other gift can you get from the king? Money. He just, you see this mine now. Look. No more. I don't need Vashti. Who? I got Esther. Yeah, she bad. Yeah. Oh, he want everybody to see it. Just think how proud Esau is. I want you to see my new possession. Come see my new possession. Right? Read.
Verse 19. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate.
Right. Okay. Read.
Esther had not yet showed her kindred, nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him.
Guess what, man? Think about it. She's a queen now. She could have been like, man, I got it all now. She could have snitched on him. Be like, oh yeah, I'm a Jew, but guess what? You can do whatever you want with them. Or I'm a Jew, just don't kill me yet. Guess what? She listened to Mordecai, because guess what? Mordecai was like her father. He said, man, I'm gonna listen to whatever you say. If you tell me not to tell him, I ain't gonna tell him, right? Read.
Verse 21. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
So guess what? Mordecai is in the king's gate, so he kind of in the chambers. You know, he on the outside, kind of chilling. But he overheard the people who keep the gate, the gatekeepers, how they kind of want to whoop on the Ahasuerus. They want to kill him, right? Read.
And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther, the queen. And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
So guess what? He told Esther, hey, man, tell him, hey, somebody, when people trying to get the drop on him, right? Because, of course, he didn't want to tell him. They'd be like, well, how you know, this and that. So, you know, Esther went ahead and told it, right? Read.
And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
So guess what, man? He hung there. But I want to get one. Let's go to an apocrypha real quick. Let's go to Esther edition. Because it's a little bit more on that one that I want to get before we get to Haman, wicked ass, man. Let's start at chapter 12. We want to just read. It's 6 verses. Start at 12 and 1. Esther and the apocrypha.
This is the book of the rest of the book of Esther, chapter 12 in the apocrypha. And Mordecai's,
Mardochus.
Mardochus.
So guess what? And his name was translated in the Greek as Mardochus. We know this is Mordecai because it's still Esther. But this is the continuation how it was translated through the Greek. So like even when we read during the destruction of Nicanor, they said Nicanor would come the day before Mardochus' day, which is Mordecai day, which is, we know, Feast of Purim, right? So it says, and Mardochus, right? Read.
Mardochus.
Mardochus. Go ahead.
Took his rest in the court with Gabatha and Terah.
Go ahead.
The two eunuchs of the king and keepers of the palace.
So guess what? This is going to the same exact thing, right? But he gave you their names, the two eunuchs, which are the two keepers at the door, right? Read.
And he heard their devices and searched out their purposes and learned that they were about to lay hands upon Artaxerxes, the king. And so he certified the king of them.
Right, read on.
Then the king examined the two eunuchs, and after that, they had confessed it. They were strangled.
They were who?
They were strangled.
He did them bad, man. He did them bad because even with this thing, in order for us to correlate the apocrypha with the things real time today, I don't know if y'all know who Artaxerxes is, but Artaxerxes was like one of the main rulers during that time. He was the king of Persia at that time. Like he ruled over all Persia, the Persian Medes. And the crazy thing about that, have you ever seen the movie 300?
Yeah.
What was his name? Xerxes, right? And what is his name? Artaxerxes. So guess what? That's how you get the correlation between the two, man. So Xerxes, and guess what? Xerxes was a Persian, wasn't he? Yeah. And then what was 300 Leonidas? It was Greeks.
Yeah.
They were Spartans, right? The Spartanalities, and guess what? The Greeks, those are the people that was coming to conquer next. And if y'all watch the second one, when Xerxes fought against the 300 again, who won? It was the 300.
Yeah.
It was the second. The 300 won. But guess what? That was the change in rule over there because the Persians had lost.
They were wearing blue.
Yeah, they was wearing blue in the second.
What's the name of the second?
300 Rise of the Empire.
Oh, okay.
So at that time, Xerxes died, and now the power went over to the Greeks. And we know if the captivity is in order, we go Babylonian, Persian, Mede, then the Greeks. So it tell you all these things, man. But they tell you in the movies, but if you don't got that spiritual eye, you'll never pay attention to them things, right? But it said Artaxerxes, right? Well, shoot, you already done read it out. Read 6 again. No. So like you read 4. Yeah, read 4 again.
Verse 4. And the king made a record of these things.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
Mardochus.
Mardochus also wrote thereof.
Right, read.
So the king commanded Mardochus
Mm-hmm.
to serve in the court, and for this he rewarded him.
So guess what? This gives you his position now. It tell you what Mordecai is now. Mordecai on the inside now. He was on the outside, but when he snitched on him and got him killed, now the king was like, "Well, sure, hey, let him stay here with me if he's gonna do some good work for me." So think about it. That was him being slick, because they didn't tell you back that in Esther in the very beginning until you go to the additions and get the extra little details. Well, now he on the inside, so now you get a little bit more. He can be a little bit more sneakier. He can move around a little better, right? Read on.
Verse 6. Howbeit Amon, the son of Admadundas,
Admathus. Yeah. You got it. Uh-huh.
Who was in great honor with the king, sought to molest Mardochus and his people because of the 2 eunuchs of the king.
Guess what it said? Howbeit Amon, the son of Mattathias, the Agagite, who was in great honor with the king, sought to molest Mardochus and his people because of the eunuchs of the king. So before we even get to Amon or Haman, if you're gonna read, if we go back in chapter 3, he was already, when he heard about this, he already wanted to kill him. He didn't even say kill him, he wanted to molest him. You know, that's like ravish from doing bad, dirty. We know what the word means. It's in the Bible, so I mean, it can't get flagged. You get what I'm saying? He said he's gonna molest not only him, but everybody. So hey, Haman wicked as hell, man. And I'm talking about he didn't want to see none of his people die. But watch this. Let's go back to Esther, man.
And you know that's a pretty evil fight, man.
Yeah.
Like you know the bloodline of Esau.
What other nation don't want to just do that?
Right.
But
Come on, man. Come on, man. And you want the man first. You wanted Mordecai first. You wanted them strong ones, huh? Oh, okay. Well, he said, I like you and I want you, right? Well, watch this, y'all. Let's go back to Esther, man. 3-1.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 1.
Bring it out.
After these things, did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Haggite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So guess what? Now we know where Haman's spot is. He above the princes of Persia and the Mede. So guess what? He like basically right hand to Artaxerxes now, right? Or as you read here, Ahasuerus, right? Read on.
Verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did he of him reverence.
Guess what? He encouraged. He said everybody bowing down to Haman. You know what I'm saying? No. Bow to ease, you know what I'm saying? You want to bow some, bow to ease. Bow. You know what I'm saying? He said, I ain't bowing nor did I reverence you. Guess what, man? You got to have a lot of spirit to be in the king's palace. And he the right-hand man to the king. Everybody bow down. You said, nah, man. You bow down to me. You know what I'm saying? But that shows you the type of spirit Mordecai had on him even at this time, right? But watch this. Read on.
Verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake. Verse 3, Shalai. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
Guess what? They all on the floor. They like, why you transgressing? Why ain't you bow down with us? Why ain't you kissing the concrete and asphalt with us? Right? Breathe.
Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them.
So guess what? Now it's a daily thing. Now they coming to, so you really ain't gonna bow down to Haman? Then you gonna transgress the king's commandment? And he like, man, y'all get y'all goddamn up. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Mordecai ain't trying to hear none of that. Because think about it. What is Mordecai there for? He's there to protect Esther. He's there to watch after them. He could care too less about any of them Edomites in them. He don't care about them. That's why he didn't bow down to him. He didn't reverence him. He's there for his daughter, right? Through the spirit, right? Read.
And he hearkened not unto them that they told, hey, goddamn coons.
Man, now I'm talking about, hey, man, he ain't bowed down to you. He ain't listening to us. Man, I think you need to get him, Haman. Right? Read.
To see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew.
Man, I'm talking about. Look, they thought telling Haman he was just going. When Haman walked up, Mordecai was gonna be like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Because they said they want to see if his words gonna stand. They're gonna see if Mordecai was standing on business. That's exactly what he was saying. He said, "Well, if we gonna tell Haman," he said, "where he would stand for." He had told him he was a Jew. They were like, "Well, he told Haman, well, he gonna claim himself as a Jew no more." Right? Think about it now. It's like how we go up and down the streets, right? We go to the highways and byways. We tell everybody up and down the street we're a Jew, but that's like them going to the governor or going to the president and be like, "Hey, they said they Jews. That's what y'all gonna stand on business. Y'all gonna be like Mordecai." Exactly. But it's just to show you the spirit that Mordecai was in, man, because this is the spirit we got to be in here for the Feast of Purim, man. Seeing how Mordecai stood for the Lord. And guess what? We just want to see how Esther did good work for the Lord and seeing what they did in order to be in order with the Most High God, right? Read.
Verse 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
So he mad now. He big man. You know, Esau, they get mad. They turn red. They, but watch this, y'all. Read.
And he thought.
And he who?
And he thought.
He thought. Think about it. He thought, right? Watch it. Read.
And he thought, scorned to lay hands on Mordecai alone.
But guess what? He thought about it. He didn't did. Because guess what, man? 1-on-1 Esau against Benjamin. Who do you think gonna win? Come on, man. That's why I say he just in his room. He like, I should whoop this nigga, man. Let me catch him alone in the palace. I'm gonna whoop him. Yes, man, you know how Esau get, man. They weak as hell, man. He man. Guess what? He didn't come to his face. He said he just thought about it. You the right hand man to the king, and you got to think about laying hands until just somebody who in the palace. You scary, Esau. You scary, Esau.
You practicing in the mirror.
I'm gonna call this nigga nigga. I hate you. Watch this, man. Read 6 again.
Verse 6 from the top. And he thought, scorned to lay hands on Mordecai alone.
But you scary, right? Read.
For they had showed him the people of Mordecai.
So guess what, man? Not only did these wicked ass people say, "Oh, this Mordecai," but then I was like, "Man, you said he's a Jew. Here go all his people too back here too. They all in this province over there, over there, over there." Right? Read.
Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus.
Man, I'm talking about if that ain't Esau, boy. Man, Esau mad at one person. They want to kill everybody. Guess what? Esau mad at himself and he'll kill his whole family. Kill the dog, kill the cat, kill the fish. I'm talking about for no reason. Guess what? Let's say he bet on the parlay. His parlay ain't hit everybody dead in the house. I'm telling you. Man, I'm talking about little Timmy at the school, he mad because he got a D in class. Guess what? Everybody dead now. You wanna go that mud out, right? But this is the spirit. Look at the spirits that's on these folks, man. You can see more. You can obviously see Mordecai was an Israelite to this day. To this day. But you can also tell that Haman, he an Edomite, man, because you know they like to go overboard with stuff. Because he could have killed Mordecai and wiped his hands with it and left it alone. But now he said, "Nah, I want every single one of them, man." Watch this. Read on now.
The whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
Read.
And the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast Purim.
What does Purim mean, y'all?
Think about it. When we talking about casting something, what would we cast?
Like spell or
No. Watch it. Just read it.
a lie?
For who?
A lie.
Nah, not a lot.
Right.
Watch it. Read
Oh,
it.
it is.
Oh, y'all thought you had it.
Lies.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Like bets.
Yeah. They casting out like, okay, if this does it like this is how it's gonna go. Or if this go like that, this is how we're gonna do it, right? They cast lots, right? Read.
They cast Purim. That is the light.
So it tell you what it is. That's why I asked you. I was gonna see if you're gonna get it. Watch this. Read.
Before Haman, from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month of dark.
Right. Read.
And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad
Who's the only people that scattered abroad? You talking about Israel, right? Read.
and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people.
Guess what, man? It not only was Mordecai like that, but all the people over there was like that. Because guess what? They all under the king's commandment.
Right.
But why would he say they all under the king's commandment, but yet they got laws different from us?
Right.
Man, you see that, man? Look how the Lord do that, man. Watch this read.
Neither keep they the king's laws.
Mm-mm.
Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
Watch this, y'all. Let's go to Esther and additions real quick. I didn't want to get it, but now I got it. We're gonna go to Esther the additions. We're gonna read. Go to 13 and start at verse 4.
This is the rest of the book of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 13, verse 4. Declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people.
A certain who?
A certain malicious people.
Malicious just mean horrible, wretched, murderous. They just bad, right? But it's the same thing. They're going back and forth, right? Read.
That had laws contrary to all nations.
Guess what? Because we do got laws contrary to every single nation that's on this planet. Because we the only people on the earth that got God, law, statutes, commandments, right? Read.
It continually despised the commandments of the king.
Guess what? It wasn't just a day they rebelled. It said continually, right? Read.
So as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot go forward.
Because guess what, man? America, think about America. They want to be, what is it? One nation under God. Guess what? One nation under their God, right? Caesar Borgia. Guess what? They want you to stay in submission to them. They don't want you to be an Israelite. They want you to be a Christian. They want you to be a Muslim. They want you to be a Seventh-day Adventist. They want you to be homosexual. They want you to do everything beside your God, man. And they saying these group of people right here, they got laws different from us, and they're not allowing us to unite, man. Man, they're not allowing us to just be sodomites all around the streets. There's a certain group of people, man, that's not letting us be great, King. And I'm telling them, right? Read on, man.
They just talking down on the Israelites like we doing something wrong. We
We
trying to
doing
keep
something
our
wrong.
guys conventions.
Yeah.
But then, they try to make it seem like we just, we the reason that their kingdom is not, progressing like it's supposed to.
Yeah,
I'm like, hell, we went there, it wouldn't progress at all.
exactly, man, because that's even the point about it. They want them to follow the king's commandments, right? Follow what I say do, because even how destruction of Nicanor, when Alexander, he came, he tried to establish a law. He said that all should be one people. Think about it. When Esau get in power anywhere, they want us to all be one people. Why? Because they're in rulership of that one people. Just think about these things. They want to be one people. That way we can go against our God. That way we in sin. That way we stay in the curses. And that way we slow down going back home. Watch this. Read on now.
Verse 5, seeing then, we understand that this people
Alone, these one soul people, these niggas here, these one people, right? Read.
is continually in opposition unto all men.
These niggas is ops. These niggas, I can't stand these niggas, man. They the one people that's keeping us from doing everything. Moab with us, Elam in agreement with it. Guess what? Ham's dirty ass with us too, man. The Egyptians, the Persian and Medes, everybody's in agreement with it. These one people, man. Read.
Different in the strange manner of their laws.
Right? Read.
And evil affected to our state.
Man, I'm talking about they tell us an evil effect to the state. How y'all just make everything look bad. Y'all Israelites, y'all make our nation not strong. Man, come on, man. Wicked as hell, man. Read.
Working all the mischief they can.
Man, they said the Israelites working all the mischief they can. They in captivity. How we working mischief, man? We go out there Sabbath in, Sabbath out, saying that you're the best thing on the planet. Come back to your God so we can go home. But guess what? The mischief that we conjuring up is that we waking back up, that we giving them back the true heritage, the true law, the true understanding, showing that Esau going to hell, Edom, same people going to hell. If you want to call Esau Edom, because they're the same thing. Ham, your ass going to Elam, Moab, Ammon, Japheth, what's some other ones? All y'all ass, if you ain't Israel, you're going to hell and you're going to captivity. Man. I'm talking about, that was like, man, these people do bad, right? Read.
That our kingdom may not be firmly established.
Just guess what, man? When we all in sin and we all going with the king's commandment, guess what? Their kingdom is firmly established. That's why you got them 7 major captivities. They had us going off real bad, man. What Abraham too said, Cush, yeah, Cush too. Everybody, bro. Guess what? If they can establish this thing, they can get these things good. Guess what? They can rule over us with that rod of iron, right? Watch this reading.
Verse 6, therefore, have we commanded that all they that are significant, or certain,
Where you at?
verse 6,
Yeah, all that is signified.
That are signified and right unto you by Aaron, who is ordained over the affairs, and is next unto us,
Read.
shall all, with their wives and children, be utterly destroyed by the sword of their enemies,
Right, read.
without all mercy and pity,
Right.
the 14th day of the 12th month, Adar of this present year.
So guess what? On the 14th, y'all remember this, on the 14th day of the 12th month Adar, that's when he was going to propose to kill all the Israelites, men, women, and children, right? But look how the Lord do this thing, right? Let's go back to Esther.
Like even in 4 and 5, when you think about it, that's why you got precepts that say by counting as witness against thyself, because they trying to say that we are like that, but they really explaining themselves to a T. They the malicious people.
That's right.
They the ones that have strange laws and trying to have us all keep these things, man.
Right. I'm talking about that's how they want to do it too. So they send out this copy, they send out this writing all throughout the kingdom, how they were gonna kill us, how they gonna do it. He even put money on our head, man. Matter of fact, let me read that real quick. Let's go to Esther chapter 3 real quick. Get this last thing. Before I jump to chapter 4. Let's go to verse 9. 3:9.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 3, and verse 9.
Bring it up.
If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasury.
Guess what, man? He said, man, 10,000 to whoever killed an Israelite. You don't think they're gonna be doing that right now when Jacob Trouble starts? Guess what, man? I got 10 racks for you right now. Go kill an Israelite. He can be a child, he can be a woman, he can be a regular man, he can be an old man. I don't care. Kill him. And I'm gonna give it to you. Think about how wicked you gotta be to put it. And 10,000 back then, I know that was worth something back then. You living good off there. 10,000 now is all right. Probably get a cash car with that. But I mean, it's better than nothing. But think about it. Think about how much hatred you gotta have in your heart, not only to make a decree, but then you put money on their head on top of that, right? A hitman, man. But you can't do it yourself. Right. You mad at Mordecai, but you gonna kill all these folks now. I'm gonna put some money on their head, everything. But you ain't even went to Mordecai yet. Think about how scary Esau is with this thing too, man. Watch this 4-1.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
When Mordecai prevailed,
Proceed.
Crazy. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and a bitter cry, and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth.
So guess what, man? Watch it now. Read verse 3.
Verse 3. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes.
So guess what, man? The first thing when Mordecai did, man, he couldn't bear the arms. He was in the king's palace. He could have went ahead and killed Haman right then and there, took it into his own hand. But guess what? The same way that Nicanor, how Judas was in the spirit, right? Judas didn't take it in arms. He didn't count the battle out, man. He prayed to the Lord, man. He fasted. He made supplication to his God, man. And guess what? That's the same way Mordecai was moving in the spirit. He said, when he heard it, he said, all right, I'm finna fast. I'm finna lament. I'm finna mourn, man. I'm finna bring myself to a lower state and humble myself before the Lord. He said, not only him, but all the Israelites that was scattered throughout the land, right? Watch this. Read on now.
Verse 4. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved,
Mm-hmm.
and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai,
Right, read.
and to take away his sackcloth from him, but he received it not.
Because he didn't want it, man. He said, man, I'm mourning, man. Guess what? You know, Esther trying to help out and do what she can and do the things that she needs to, but he's just like, man, I don't want none of that, right? But watch this. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. Also, he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplication unto him, and to make requests before him for her people.
So guess what, man? We see what Mordecai is already starting to put his works in order. But now Esther coming into play now. He said, hey, he gave her the decree. He showed her the decree, man. Hey, look, if you don't do this, you can kill all of us, me, myself included, right? He said, you need to go before the king, make supplication and tell him, hey, because that's what Haman is under the king. So she, the queen, she tell him, hey, to stop the decree. He'll stop it.
So he did this not telling the king.
Yeah, he didn't tell the king.
Okay.
Guess what? He told Esther, because why? She's in power.
Right.
Guess what? She's above the right hand. She's the queen. She sleep with him. She got all the power she need, right? But he told her, hey, you need to go to him and tell him to stop this, right? Watch this, read.
Verse 9. And Hatak
Yeah.
came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again, Esther spake unto Hatak, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai.
Read.
All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come into the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his, to put him to death.
So guess what? Esther knew that if she was to just go up to the king without an appointment, without being requested to meet in front of the king, she could die. That was his one law. Don't come to me. Don't come talk to me. Don't do none of them things unless I ask for you. Because if you don't, I'm going to kill you. It was straight like that, right? Read.
Except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live.
So guess what? That's if he got grace on you. If you come in and if he do this, you cool. But if he don't move that scepter, you dead, man. Watch this, read.
But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days.
It's been 30 days before since she done seen the king. 30 whole days. And Mordecai want her to just go up straight and just tell the king, hey, tell the decree Haman made, tell him to disallow it. But hey, she was like, dang, if I go in there and he don't raise up that scepter, he gonna kill me. But just think, y'all keep that in your mind, right? Read.
And they told to Mordecai Esther's words.
So guess what? Now he found out about it, right? Now they came back and told her the one law, right? Read.
Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
So he told her, he said, hey, well, if you don't go say nothing, they kill all us. You still a Jew too, they gonna get you. Guess what? You ain't no better than us. Guess what? If you a Jew, you gonna get it. Guess what? Bring it up to today. When Jacob Trouble start, guess what? All those people that are in political power, celebrities, all these people that may have some money and a higher stature, you still a nigga. You still gonna get got.
Don't forget where you came from.
Don't forget where you came from, man. But guess what? She was getting faint, man. She was like, dang, because if he kill me, then I'm dead. But guess what? If you don't do it, we all dead, right? You brothers and sisters got to think about that, willing to take that sacrifice, not only for yourself, but for the nation, right? Because guess what? He said to do this for the people. He didn't say do it just for me, your pops. No, he said do it for the people, right? Watch this read, right?
Verse 14. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place.
Right, read.
But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Right, read.
Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer.
Right, she was like, okay, them some mighty words he just said, right? So he was like, Esther was like, hey, well, tell Mordecai this, right? Read.
Verse 16, go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan,
You know, Shushan is the palace, right? Read.
and fast for me,
Mhm.
and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day.
Mhm.
I also and my maidens will fast likewise,
Mhm.
and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
Hey man, Esther was mighty. Esther was mighty as hell for that, man. Esther said, all right, well, go get all the Jews that's in this palace right now. Y'all fast for me, man. Guess what? When brother and sister going through something and the captains call us all together to throw up a fast for a certain brother or sister, even for the congregation, that's how we got to be moving in the spirit. Because what if we had some brothers and sisters be like, I want to fast. What we fasting for? I'm pretty sure they didn't ask no questions. They said, hey, because they knew what was up. They knew the decree. They all seen it. It was like, man, no. They threw a fast for 3 days, night and day, no eating, no drinking. Think about the spirit that not only you had to be in, not only Mordecai, but all the Jews that was in that palace had to be in. To fast 3 days and 3 nights without, guess what, a week to prepare, a couple days to prepare. None. They just went straight into it, 3 days, 3 nights. Guess what? It was a her and the maidens too. Then she said, because guess what? The first thing they did is fast and prayed unto the Lord. They didn't do nothing else. That was the first things that they did. And she said, all right, well, then I'm going to go to the king. Guess what? If I die, I die. Guess what? She left that mother completely up to the Most High God, man. Because she fasted, she made prayers and supplication. And the next thing she said, hey, I'm going to go to the king, man. I know that's the law. Because according to the law, is it according to our law or what he established? It says, because it says, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
The king's law.
The king's law, right? Just making sure y'all, everybody staying with me. Because somebody be like, well, what law is that in the Bible? No, that's his law. That you don't come to him. If he don't tell you to come in there, don't come here to meet, don't do it. But she said, hey, I'm gonna fast on it 3 days, me and my maidens, and I'm gonna go in there. If I die, I die, right? Read 17.
She poured a smoke. If I get there, I
Get that way. Man, this area they ain't even doing it, man. Not like Smokey, man. Like Esther. No, just playing. Read 17.
Verse 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
5 and 1, man.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 5, and verse 1. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house.
Y'all watch how crafty Esther from the get with this stuff, man. Because guess what? Esther knows she got to find a way to get into the king's house by getting requested in. So she done put on her royal apparel. She done stood in the court. She done stood right in front of the king's window, right where she can be seen, right? Watch this, read.
Verse 2. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
Ooh, I ain't seen you in 30 days. Nah, 33 days, because that was 3 days of fast. I ain't seen you in 33 days. God. You looking good over there. You in a royal little girl. Ooh, you walking good. That sun hitting you. Right, read.
When the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand.
So guess what he said? Hey, come here. Come here. Come on, Esther. Give you the leeway, right? Read.
So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
And guess what? She tested her luck with that mud too, because he had it out. She came. Come on,
Yeah.
Come on, then. Let me see how much power I got with you, right? Watch this. Nah, dang. You want to pull it? Nah, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Come on. Read on.
Verse 3. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be even given thee.
Guess what? She didn't even ask for nothing yet. She didn't ask for nothing yet. She just came out. She just, you know what I'm saying, looking good and stuff. You know, let's find something. And he just came in and said, "What you want? What you want?" I'm pretty sure she didn't give him the answer that he wanted. But she was like, "Man, what's your request, man? What you doing?" First he said, "What you doing? What you want?" You know what I'm saying? Right? Read.
It shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom.
You know what he said? Whatever you want, man. If you want half the kingdom, whatever that you can have it all. You want to give it a whole thing? I get half.
You put T.I., you can have whatever you want.
Man, for real, man. Think about it, man. For what? Read,
Wait, whoever verse 4. And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
Guess what, man? Now she said, I'm gonna make a banquet. I want only you and Haman to come, though. I only want it. It's gonna be for him, right? Read.
Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste.
Guess what, man? I'm talking about, man. Esther had to look crazy. Because anytime Esther said something move, he made haste to do it. He speeded to get her ass in the door. And guess what? She said, well, I want to bank. Hey, I mean, where Haman at? Said, man, hey, Haman, where are you at? You know what I'm saying? Read.
Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther had said.
So guess what? It show you that Haman ain't have a lot of power. Right. Whatever Esther told to the king, that's what she did. And he said, listen, hey, Haman, you come listen to whatever Esther got to say, man, and hurry up right now, today, right? Expeditiously. Right? Read.
So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared.
Right? Read.
And the king said unto Esther, at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee.
So guess what he said? What do you want, man? I'm gonna give it to you, right? Read.
And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom, it shall be performed.
He already said it once, but he wants to tell it again, right? Read.
Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king has said.
That's tough. Read.
Verse 9. Then when Haman forth that day, joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate,
man, watch the man. Y'all keep this, man. Keep a visual, right? Read it.
That he stood not up nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
Guess what? Think about Haman, man. He's like, man, I'm gonna get a banquet. I'm happy. Here we go, this nigga. This nigga don't stand up for me. This nigga don't reverence me. This nigga don't do nothing. He don't ruin my day. I hate this nigga, man. And guess what? That's how Esau look at us today. Guess what? They walk all up and down the street. You see all the homeless people. Hey, man, how you doing, man? You look great, sir. You look great, man. Sir, you look good. Can I have a couple dollars? And, you know, Esau's so prideful. Yeah, I know I look good. Here, a couple dollars, you peasant. But guess what? You see us on the block. To hell with the white man. To hell with Esau, man. To hell what you talking about. Esau like, why don't you reverence me? Everybody in my house is dead now. Why weren't you there? You know what I'm saying? Why should read all about it?
Verse 10.
But I want y'all to just keep a visual in this thing, man. Because guess what, man? In order to make this Bible come to life, man, you gotta have a vision. You gotta have a vision, man. See this thing through the spirit, and let's see, and literally look at this thing like if it was a movie. Like Maccabee said that, man. He said, man, reading the stories in the Bible is better than the movie, man. It is, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm talking about this is crazy right here. This nigga hates him so bad. Having a perfect day, and he just seen his ass. You know how Esau look at black folks when they mad at him. But watch this read. But I bet you was alone that day too. But I bet you ain't gonna whoop him. He ain't gonna go fight him, right? Read.
Verse 10. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself. And when
Haman refrained himself. What was Haman gonna go do?
Put it together.
Man, you know what he's gonna go do? Tell Ahasuerus again? Ahasuerus, he's not done. No, man. Come on, man. Read it.
Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself. And when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh, his wife.
So guess what? He's like, yeah, I ain't gonna let that nigga get the best one. Bring all my partners, bring my friends, man, bring my wife, right? Read.
And Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children and all the things wherein the king had promoted him,
right? Read.
And how he had advanced him above the princes and the servants, in service of the king.
So guess what? Now he boasts. You know, Esau prideful. He done got to the house. He want everybody to come. Yeah, man, I'm right-hand man to the king now, man. You know how it go. Yeah, man, I got this, I got that. Look at these gold, I got these women, I got these chill, I got all. But look out, right? Read.
Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther the queen, that let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared, but myself.
Prideful as hell, man. Guess what, man? Hey, the queen made a dinner for only me. Only me and the king. So you know what that means. I'm right there, man. I'm right there, right? Read.
And tomorrow am I invited unto her, also with the king.
Right, read.
Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew.
I'm telling you, boy. Help, man. Read it. God dang.
So he thought he having a good thing. Then as soon as he see Mordecai,
I'm talking about, man. Look how much hate he got from Mordecai. He talking about all the things that he got. But read that, all right?
yet all this availeth me nothing,
Man, he said, man, I don't care about none of this stuff, man. Read.
so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sit at the king's gate.
Guess what, man? Esau might be having a good day every Saturday. Went to go to the damn Stars game. Just got a new promotion at the job. But as soon as I see you goddamn Israelites, I remember that I'm beneath y'all. I remember my place. I know I can't whoop y'all by myself. Damn, I hate you niggas. But that's all they can do, right? Man, I'm telling you, man. Hey, Mordecai was protected from the Lord, and guess what? Haman didn't want none of that. Watch it, read.
Verse 14. Then said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou and marry with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made.
So guess what, man? Now his friends and his wife was like, well, make something to hang him on. And hang him right before you go into the banquet, so you can be happy, man. Just go ahead and kill him. Guess what? He could have been did that. It's all the spirit of the Most High God. Watch this. Read on now. 6 and 1.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 6, and verse 1. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the chronicles, and they were read before the king.
Mm-hmm.
And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Benaniyah and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the doors, who sought to lay hands on the king of Harsha.
So guess what, man? Think about the Lord, how he got the command. He got power over all the kings of the earth. All of a sudden, on that night, the king can't sleep. He's tossing and turning. And all of a sudden, he just wake up with the spirit on him to go through the chronicles in the book. He just all of a sudden, I need to read over these records again. And then he wants to be read again. And then all of a sudden, he just happened to read on Mordecai's account again. That was reported. Remember early on in the story, how he reported the two people that were hanged, right? But just look how the Lord working in all these things, man. They not literally saying the Lord is, oh, the Lord did this, the Lord did that. But you got to look at that thing through the spirit, man. Look how the Lord is just working with them, right? Read,
Verse 3. And the king said, what honor and dignity had been done to Mordecai for this?
He's like, man, what did we give him? Like, damn, did we give him something? Like, what good thing did he get for this thing, right? Read.
Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
We ain't did nothing to that nigga, man. You just let him in the building. I mean, he cool. But that's it, right? Read.
And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come in into Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
So guess what, man? King, like, man, we're in the court, man. Guess what? Haman in there, they in there building the gallows so they can hang Mordecai, right? Read.
And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standing in the court. And the king said, let him come in.
Well, he said, man, well, tell Haman to come here, right? Read.
So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor?
Now watch this. Read. So look, hold on. Before you read that, so Haman came in there and he was like, hey, man, what should I do to give this man some honor, man? Now watch this. Read.
Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself?
Prideful as hell. He was like, well, who else deserves it more than me? let me tell him. Guess what? Haman is thinking this. He is talking about him. So guess what? His prideful ass. We know how Esau is, man. We know how Esau is. Well, the king, if you must, I think you should do this for the most honorable and the most needed man ever, right? Read.
Verse 7. And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighted to honor,
Read.
let the royal apparel be brought, which the king used to wear.
Guess what? He said, man, let me bring the apparel that the king wear. I need one of your fits, right? Read.
And the horse that the king rideth upon.
He said, I want your feet, I want your whip, because that was his whip back then, his horse. I want your nice horse, right? Read.
And the crown royal, which is set upon his head.
That's what I want, his crown too, man. I want the crown, I want his feet, I want his ride. Think about how prideful you gotta be to ask of all of these things, right? Read.
Verse 9.
Mhm.
And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal, whom the king delighted to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighted to honor.
So guess what, man? He said, man, take them through, man. Let them go through the city on the horseback and just, you know, if y'all ever seen All About the Benjamins, when Mike Epps, man, he got at the top of the damn car, he was like, dun, 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 dun. So guess what? He said, man, give him all the things, man. Put him in the fanciest whip, put him in the clean king's clothes, make him nice. He said, make one of his top servants come put on his clothes for him, right? He talking about that's what I would do, you know. But to the most noblest person, the person who most deserved it, right? But watch this, verse 10, man.
Verse 10. Then the king said to Haman, make haste.
Make haste, man. Make haste when you do this, Haman. Read.
And take the apparel and the horse, as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew.
And ate him up.
Oh.
Ate him alive. I'm talking about, he said, man, all the stuff you just said, man, that's great. Yeah, make haste to do this, but give it to Mordecai.
Your whole heart.
Whoa.
Guess what?
Whoa.
He would have went to the Jew. He said, Mordecai the Jew. He knew he was a Jew.
Yeah.
He said, give it to Mordecai the Jew, right? Read.
That sitteth at the king's gate, let nothing fail
Don't let not a damn thing fail. Read.
of all that thou hast
He
spoken.
said, man, everything that you said, yeah, give it to him. Read.
Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai.
Guess what, nigga? You the top noblest servant.
Man.
You come dress Mordecai, the Jew. Read.
And arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the street of the city.
Guess what? Now you gotta walk me. Now I'm on the top of the horse. Dun, 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 dun. Guess what, man? Think about how the Lord worked, man.
Right.
Guess what? We watched Django. Some white folks and even some of them black folks looking like, man, who's that nigga on that nag, man? Guess what, man? Man, you don't think Haman was, what did he say? He refrained himself, man. Haman was mad about this thing, man. Haman was mad. He had to dress him in the king's apparel, give him the gold crown, give him all these things, the best horse. And now you gotta walk him through the city so everybody can see that this nigga is above me.
Right, you know he eating myself. You know he read the whole
I'm talking about he a red hot chili pepper. He pissed, man.
Red hot chili pepper.
Read on, man.
and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor.
Watch this, read.
And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house, mourning, and having his head covered.
Guess what, man? We know we're making a lot of movie reference, but I want y'all to get it, man. Think about when Debo took Red Bike. Think about how Haman ran to the house mourning. He was sad. He had his head covered.
Yeah.
But think about it. Think about how Esau is. Let's say they don't get the big promotion. They go to Jake instead of going to Esau, right? Let's make it like that. Esau gonna go home. He's sad. He mourning. He done drank a whole bottle of gin or something or some vodka. Guess what, man? Everybody in that house is damn near dead. He walk in that door and let's say, man, I'm talking about everybody in that house dead. Esau, man, you know, messing with Esau. He ain't just gonna take himself, he's taking everybody with him, right? Read.
Verse 12. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house, mourning and having his head covered.
My forefather gave me this gift. Read on.
Verse 13. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends, everything that had befallen him.
Man, he had like the world just ended, man. He went everything that done befell him. I had to dress this nigga. I had to put him on the horse. I had to walk him through the city. I had to do all of this stuff, man. My day was horrible, right? Read.
Then said his wise man and Zeresh, his wife, unto him.
Man, look, but watch this, y'all. His wife and the wise men told him this, though. Watch, read. If Mordecai
be of the seed of the
you
Jews,
said, if he really is a Jew, right? By seed. Guess what that's showing you? You gotta be a Jew by seed.
Man.
Fighting on multiple fronts with this thing, man. You can't be grafted in. You gotta be one from the seed up, man.
That's right.
Watch this, read.
if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him,
Read.
but shalt surely fall before him.
He said, they said it straight up. His wife told him that. The woman he lay with. Said, hey, if he a Jew, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose me too if he come over here. Let Mordecai come over here on that horse. I'm riding right with him. Guess what, man? Watch this, read.
Verse 14. And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlains, and hasted to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared.
Because you remember, he said, when it come down to this banquet, Haman need to haste to it. Guess what? The king kept his word.
I got a question.
What's up?
Okay, so all this happened like right before when the sun was going down. All that happened up until like the evening of the next day.
Yeah, think about all these things that's going on, man.
That was
The
crazy.
king couldn't sleep, so it was evening time.
Yeah.
So guess what? Now throughout the morning and afternoon, all of this celebration, all this is going on, right? Well, watch this, read. Verse 7 and 1. So like,
This is the book of Esther, chapter 7 and verse 1. So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther the queen. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine.
so guess what? You know, the first day at the banquet, that was what's going to be told to be said, right? Now this is the second day, right? Read.
What is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom. Then Esther the king, then Esther the queen, Shalaki, answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people,
And who?
and my people, at my request.
So guess what? Now she finally came out with it. They said, well, if you do that, hey, give me and my people the petition, man. Give us its freedom, right? Read.
For we are sold, I and my people.
Guess what, man? She included herself in that thing, man. Because guess what? If she wasn't a queen, guess what? She was still in captivity. She couldn't have said, I am my people, but she stood for whatever she was around for, man. Think about all these celebrities. Kodak Black, you know he's Israelite. J. Cole. Who else know he's Israelite? Kendrick Lamar. All these people know they Israelites, but are they willing to bring themselves to a lower state to say that? They're not. They're not willing to give up all these riches for that thing, man. DC Young Fly. He know he is Israelite. Kyrie Irving. Are you willing to give up everything and say that before the king? Because he could just be like, well, you go out with it. We're going to kill all of y'all. She was willing to risk it all, not only for herself, but for her nation, man. Watch this, read.
For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish.
Read.
But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
Because guess what, man? If we were sold as bond men and bond women, I wouldn't have said nothing. Because guess what? We serving out our captivity at that point. But see, Haman don't even want you to serve in captivity. You want to kill all y'all. Guess what? No, I don't want you to do nothing. I want you to just die. Right? Read.
Verse 5. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther, the queen. Who is he and where is he that there's presumed in his heart to do so?
Guess what, man? Now Hosser's getting mad. He like, wait, hold on, man. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this you're trying to get up with you? Who trying to kill all your people? Who is he? And why does he even think that he can do that? I'm the king. You see what I'm saying? Who is this, right? Read.
And Hester said, the adversary.
Man, you don't remember that. They don't remember.
I
I'm very proud, no. Well, adversary.
Bro, who said that we remember we was at our camp?
You don't remember that?
And somebody said that.
Obviously, y'all cold, man.
Oh, y'all told me to say I remember
In
that.
the adversary.
And the adversity.
He said adversary.
Adversary.
Oh, in the adversary. Shout out, man. Shout out. Obviously, y'all cold.
Man, I tell y'all come on with that. Yeah, man, he watching players too.
Verse 6 again.
Verse 6. And Esther said, that adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
Man.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
So he was like, oh shit, the jig is up. It's up. He said the adversary and enemy. Not only is he against us, he our damn enemy too, showing you that Esau is our enemy. It's tough. Because guess what? He an adversary. Why? Because he's going against us. But he also an enemy because the Lord told him, hey, Esau is your enemy, man. Watch this read. Verse 7.
Verse 7. And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath, went into the palace garden, and Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen.
So now Haman done got up. Please, please, Esther, please, right? He's trying to plead this case, right? Read.
And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen. For he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
So he knew he was gonna die. The king got up, he didn't say nothing because he's gonna make something happen. Now he asked him, come on, Esther, please, please, right? Watch this read.
Then
But watch it, even before I say that, think about it. Esther knew about the report that Haman was already given about all the Jews. So now he coming to seek these things, right? That's when he was, what did it say in Hebrews 12:16? When he tried to come back, he tried to sort it, but
no, he started carefully with tears.
No, he started carefully with tears.
There was no repentance for Esau.
He was rejected.
He was rejected.
Esau carefully.
Yeah, Esau carefully.
Watch this, man. The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he had inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. You know what I'm saying? You got to connect these things, connect the dots, because they say Esau back then is not the so-called white man to this day. But you see how you connect it, because you know you had Esau, Edom. Guess what? Now you got Agag. Agag is the offspring of Edom. Then you know you got the Greeks as Edomites, you got the Romans as Edomites, the Europeans as Edomites. Now you got the Americans as Edomites. Guess what? You got to see the correlation, see these things. Because who is another profane person like them that's willing to go through the extent and willing to kill themselves, kill to be killed, and to kill a certain group of people forever? They've been wanting to kill the Israelites since the beginning of time. Esau has always wanted to kill Jacob. When does it change? And guess what? If we look at it today, Esau is still trying to kill Jacob to this day. Come on now. And they done did a good job because they done killed a lot of us. But guess what the Lord said? We the sand of the sea. Can't, man.
That's right.
I'm telling you, y'all got to keep this thing in the spirit, man. It is tough, man. But he trying to sort it carefully with tears, right? Let's go back to that Esther, man, chapter 7.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 7, and verse 8.
Read.
Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was. Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house?
Man, I'm talking about
all on the bed.
For the king, like, nigga, you and my wife, man. So what, you gonna force my wife to do something with you? You gonna break my wife? What you gonna, what he say he wanted to do to us? He wanted to molest us, right? that is what he said, man. He said, you gonna do that to my wife right here? All right. Look, if not, he was only mad. He probably calmed down a little bit. He said, man, it is Haman, that's a right-hand man. But then he came in and he my damn bed, man.
Yeah.
Good, what With my wife? My wife? What did he say? Read on now.
Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house?
Man, read.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face.
Man, they done bagged him up. Just like that. Bagged them up, tagged them up. This kind of rap, right? Read.
And Harbonah,
Harbonah. Mm-hmm.
one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai.
So I just want to make a point. Y'all got to understand how high 50 cubits. That's 75 feet.
Yeah, that's
And Haman made that he hated Mordecai so bad, he made a gallows 75 feet tall. So I just wanted to make that point so y'all can have a visual thought.
Think about how tall 75 feet is, man. It's like a roller coaster.
Right.
It's tall as
That's
hell,
tall.
man.
That's tall.
Because he wanted Mordecai to be the face of the Israelites dying. I'm gonna make this nigga an example. Who are the only people that would literally do public executions so that everybody could see these things, man? Come on, man. If it's not him, then who is it, man? If not, who? Like, come on, man. Read, huh?
Behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standing in the house of Haman.
Mm.
Then the king said, hang him thereon.
He said, man, well, shit, hang Haman on that mud. Might as well, right? Read.
So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
Hey, man, that's tough, man. But watch, I got to get a precept on that, man. I was just reading it, and they hit me through the spirit. Let's go to Psalms real quick. Psalm 7. Hey, look, man, I said the class wasn't going to be long, but I couldn't miss none of this. I'm sorry. I was on the bridge is shorter than this, but hey, Piece of Purim is tough, man.
It is.
That destruction of the nigga know it was tough.
Mm-hmm.
All of these feasts and all these feast days and all the things that Israel had to do, and all these things is tough, man. And we gotta give them the due credits and the due reverence that we need to, man. So if it's an hour, 2 hours, 3, mine ain't gonna be 2 or 3 hours. But I'm just saying, if it's that long, man, hey, the Lord meant it to do so, man. But let's get Psalm 7. Psalm 7 gonna start at 9.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 9.
Read.
Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end,
Right, read.
but establish the just.
Read.
For the righteous God tried the hearts and reins.
So this is King David through the Spirit. Y'all gotta look at this thing through the Spirit, right? King David said, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Guess what? Didn't Haman's wickedness come to an end? And guess what? Hey, Mordecai got that good just. He established Mordecai now. Now Mordecai's right up there with him. But Haman just got put to the end, right? And Esther's right there too. Read.
My defense is of God.
My defense is of who?
Is of God.
Man, I'm telling you, through all of these things, man, look who our defense was through all of these things. When Esther had to go through a hard time, she fasted and prayed. When Mordecai first heard about these things, he fasted and prayed. When brothers and sisters going through anything, whether it be an adversary of the other nations or even an adversary within yourself, we know that flesh versus the spirit is a constant fight. The first thing you should do is fast and pray and repent. That's why this class is called First Works Friday. Remember the first works of the Lord, man, and come back to him, right? Read.
Which saveth the upright in heart.
Yeah, read.
God judging the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
Read that again.
God judging the righteous,
Uh-huh.
and God is angry with the wicked
How long?
every day.
Every damn day that Esau wake up, God hate him. He mad at him. Guess what? Come on, man. If God is angry at the wicked every day, and we want to be walking the steps of Christ, who is just walking like doing the things that his father told him, we gotta hate the wicked every damn day.
Because hey, we say that we gotta hate evil. So a just man gonna hate evil, roughly paraphrasing. So, hey, we hate them, you know, of course, the most I got.
We gotta hate their ass every day. I ain't giving Esau no slack, not a damn piece.
I don't give a damn if he autistic.
Get your man. I ain't even. I can't even say that. Read out.
Verse 12. If he turn not, he will what? Or he will wit.
He will wit.
He will wit his sword. He had bent his bow and made it ready.
Read.
He had also prepared for him the instruments of death.
Mm-hmm.
He ordained his arrows against the persecutors.
Right, read.
Behold, he travailed with iniquity
Uh-huh.
and had conceived mischief
Mhm.
and brought forth falsehood.
Guess what, man? Haman did all these things, man. He travailed with iniquity. He conceived mischief. He done did all of these things, man. Brought forth falsehood, lying, calling us a malicious people, saying we doing all of these things. We preventing the king to do this. We worse. We bad. We this and that. We ain't bother nobody, right? But this is literally the characteristics of Esau, right? Read 15.
He made a pit and digged it,
Mm-hmm.
and is fallen into the ditch which he made.
Read that again.
He made a pit
Uh-huh.
and digged it,
Guess what? He made a gallows and formed it, right? Read.
and is fallen into the ditch which he made.
And he got hanged on the one that he made, man. Guess what? Esau setting up all these things for us to fail, man.
That's right.
But guess what? At the end of the day, they're gonna fall by their own same
That's right.
thing, man. They got to. They make all these false idols and false gods to serve. Guess what? The things that's gonna recompense on their head is when the real God come and kill all them other gods, including them. We gotta look at all these things in the spirit, man. Read, No, you know I'm reading. I'm reading that. Read.
Verse 16, his mischief shall return upon his own head.
Guess what, man? That sound like a just God to me. That sound like the God that's gonna recompense the evil on top of their head in a double portion, man. That sound like a God that, hey, anything that they did against us gotta come back to them, man. No ifs, ands, or buts, right? Read.
And his violent demon shall come down upon his own pay.
Guess what, man? Everything that he done dealt with us, it's coming right back on him. However they dealt with us, it's coming right back on us. Guess what? Haman wanted to molest Mordecai and the Israelites. It's gonna come back on him, man.
Mhm.
Straight like that, right? Read.
Verse 17, I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness.
That's right, man.
And will sing praise to the name of the Lord Most High.
And I'm talking about that's what we gotta do, man. Through all of these things, knowing that the wicked gonna get their judgment, we gotta praise the Lord through it all. And this how do we praise him? By celebrating his feast days, by keeping the name of Israel alive, man. By being an Israelite, by being a Jew, claiming your heritage and nationality, and doing the thing that the Lord requires you to do, right? Watch this. Let's go back. Chapter 8, man. We almost out of here. We last field, man. Start at 1.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, the Jews' enemy. Let me read that again. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther, the queen, and Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her.
So guess what? Now she done finally told, hey, that's my dad. That's like my dad to me. Of course that's her cousin, but hey, that's like my father, man. That's my father. So guess what? She done told it all now. But guess what? Now he said he done gave all of Haman into the queen's hand. Right? Read verse 3.
And the
Verse 2.
And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai and Esther. Set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
Man, look at that, man.
Hey,
Look at that. Look how the Lord worked, man. He took that ring off that nigga's finger, he done gave it to him. Guess what? He said, nah, you over the whole house of Haman. Guess what? Haman was over everything, right? He was the right-hand man. Now look at it. Now you got Esther the queen, and now you got Mordecai, the right-hand man to the king. Come on, man. Who was another person that happened to?
Joseph.
Exactly, man. In the spirit, man. The spirit.
Verse 3. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews.
Because think about it, y'all. He might have killed Haman, but that decree was still out. Right. That if you killed an Israelite, you killed a Jew, you just bring it to the king, and they give you 10,000 shekels of silver, right? So guess what? She still had to besought the king and still had to make another request. Read.
Then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king,
right? Read.
And said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son
That's a metaphor.
of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's provinces.
So guess what she said? Hey, reverse that thing, man. Whatever he wrote against us, reverse it and disallow all of it, man. And guess what? She said reverse the letter. Don't kill us, kill them. Because she didn't say just to disallow, she said reverse it. Instead of killing us, let us kill them. Right? Read.
Verse 6, for how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
Guess what, man? I said, man, I can't stand to see that. We might be good now, me and Mordecai. Guess what? She could have stopped there. She got her pops. She good. She could have stopped there, but she was like, nah, I still got some more nation work to do. Guess what? There's no point of me just to do it all. And guess what, man? My people suffering. And that's one of the spirits we got to have on us, right? Read.
Verse 7, then the king of Ahasuerus said unto Esther, the queen, and to Mordecai, the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews.
Right, read.
Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, and the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name, and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse.
Guess what, man? He gave them authority. He said, man, write whatever you want to write, seal it with the king's ring, because we know Mordecai got the ring. He said, because whatever I write, it's going to stand. And ain't nobody going to go against it. He gave them free roam. He gave them a piece of paper and said, whatever you want to write, whatever you want, put it on the piece of paper, seal it, it got it, done deal, right? It's tough, man. Jump down. I'm telling you, she had to be.
Yeah.
She had to be bad, man. Matter of fact, now read nothing.
Verse 9, then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is, the month Sabbath, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies, and rulers of the provinces, which are from India unto Ethiopia, and 127 provinces, unto every province, according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing,
Right.
and according to their language.
Right.
And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders of mules were on mules, camels, and young dromedaries,
Right, read.
wherein the king granted the Jews, which were in every city, to gather themselves together, and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that will assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
Right, watch this. Watch this, verse 12. And I'm going to see if y'all remember this. Go ahead, read.
Verse 12, upon one day, and all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, named it upon the 13th day, on the 12th month, which is the month Adar.
Now, what happened? Now, I remember I told you I remember that date back then when Haman was planning to kill all the Israelites. That was the 13th day that they sent out the decree, right? But watch this. I don't know if y'all remember, but when we was reading the Esther the edition, Haman said on the 14th day of the 12th month of Adar is when I was going to go out and kill all these Israelites, right? That's the 13th day, and he already dead. Now that the decree done got reversed. But watch this. Read on. No, matter of fact, go to verse, drop down, go ahead to verse 17.
Verse 17, and in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews.
Go ahead.
For the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
So do y'all know what that means?
He like to start converting to want to be a Jew, because if he did it on the 14th day, they came back on the 13th day. So was it the day before
Yeah, this is the right day before. But the point is, it says that many of the people of the land became Jews. Did they literally become a Jew?
No.
But what they start doing?
They start keeping the customs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like they're trying to make us keep the, their customs.
We had
Right.
to keep the king's
That's
commandment,
right.
but guess what? Now it was Mordecai's commandment. And we know Mordecai kept the Most High God's commandments. So now everybody in the land keeping the Most High God commandments now, right?
And when we get into the king,
They gonna say,
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get one precept on this. Y'all make sure y'all write this down.
Isaiah 14.
Yeah, that stuff too. I like that. Put Zechariah 8 and 22,
Next to
17. Zechariah 8 and 22. Let me know, y'all. I'm gonna read that one actually too. Get that real quick. And y'all write Zechariah 14 and 16. But we're finna read 8 and 22 right now. When you get there, I'll go ahead. That's right, Abraham. They kept the law because they were scared. Exactly right. Yeah, go ahead.
this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, and verse 22.
Bring it out.
Yeah.
Start at 21.
Verse 21. And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before the Lord and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also.
So guess what? This is going into the time when all the nations gonna start seeking the Lord. Everybody, well, let's go to the Most High God. Let's go to the King of the Jews. Let's go seek out the council. Let's go seek out the things. We know this is at the end of all the end all be out, because we know the Lord is commanding them to fight against one another right now and rebel against us. Right? But watch this. Read verse 22.
Verse 22. Yea, many people in strong nations,
Right? Watch. Many people, strong nations. Right? Read.
shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before the Lord.
So they coming to Jerusalem and praying before the Lord. Right? Read.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, in those
In
days
those days, read.
it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew.
Read that again. 10 men, grown ass men. Read.
That 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations.
So guess what? Everybody, whether they speak Portuguese, Japanese, Ammonese, look at like any Russian, German, Ukrainian, all of 10 nations speaking 10 different languages, right? So you know across all four corners of this earth, right? Read.
Even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew,
Saying what?
saying, we will go with you.
Who?
We will go with you.
Right. Read.
For we have heard that God is with you.
And guess what, man? It's plain as day. And guess what, man? Them Jews, guess what? The Jews that was actually in the provinces, when the decree came back around, all the people of the land was like, damn, they got the one true God with them. Damn, Haman word ain't word. And the king working for him too. Oh no, y'all got the real God with Jews too. You know, and that's gonna happen. That happened at that time, and best believe when Christ come back, it's gonna be the same exact way, man. But that Zechariah 14 and 16, man, I encourage y'all to go read that too. But that's showing you when we're in the kingdom and they come and they don't choose not to come to our feast days, they gonna get it. We gonna kick you on y'all ass, right? Watch this. 9 and 1, man.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 1. Now, in the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution. And the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had ruled over them, that hated them.
So guess what? The 13th day was the decree made. Guess what? That was when he was gonna send it out and everything. That was when it's gonna be made that they was gonna kill all the Jews. But now we got reversed. The decree came out that the Jews can kill them, and they hate you. You can kill them that hate you now, right? Read.
The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus to lay hands.
To who?
To lay hands.
To lay hands on these folks. Read.
On such as sought their hurt.
Guess what? Anybody.
See that?
Little Becky, I think you was finna touch my son. Guess what? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, all of y'all ass get it, man. Everybody who sought the hurt of the Israelites, you got it. They are in every province in the whole kingdom.
Man.
We know his kingdom was from India all the way to Ethiopia.
Man.
That's a big ass piece of land.
Damn, bro.
In every single province.
Slaughter.
Esau was getting their ass whooped.
That's right.
Every single one of them. The Persians was getting their ass whooped.
Right.
The Medes getting their ass whooped. Damn Elamites getting their mother ass whooped, man. Ethiopians, everybody's getting their ass. On this day, everybody getting their ass whooped. This was National Get Your Ass Whooped Day. That's what this was, man.
Yeah.
What did it say? Read it again.
Throughout all the provinces of the king of Ahasuerus, to lay hand on such as sought their hurt,
Read.
and no man could withstand them.
Nobody take two hands. Nobody. Guess what? That's why the Lord had to make Haman die before Mordecai got to touch him up a little bit. Mordecai was gonna do that boy bad. He was gonna kill him with his. He was either gonna kill him with these, or he gonna kill him, with his neck. Right? Read.
For the fear of them fell upon all people,
Right. Read.
and all the rulers of the provinces, and lieutenants, and the deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews. Help the Jews.
They helped. Guess what? You got Esau kicking Esau. Is this how I do it, Mordecai? No, you ain't hitting him hard enough. Every province, all the officers, all the deputies, they coming off their horse. You got the little white lady. Please help me. They got my baby. Where they at? You know what I'm saying? How the girl getting out there? She.
Oh yeah.
You know, let that old white man try to run up.
You can get some anyway.
You get some too, man. You ready to fall? I got scared a little bit. I thought you saw my hurt. Here, you gotta get it, right? Watch this read,
Because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
Man, they were all scared of Mordecai. Mordecai probably had to be a little big too, man. We talked about Nehemiah being big. Mordecai probably had to be a big Benjamite, man. Everybody scared of him. You could still have some rebellious Edomites. I mean, Haman didn't like him, but he didn't want to lay hands on him. So he had to be a little tough, you know what I'm saying? Read.
For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater.
Guess what? We know that's Proverbs 16:7, man. It said it make even the Lord, if you fear the Lord, it make even your enemies be at peace with you. Now look at this thing. If this ain't more peace for your enemies, Esau letting you whoop other Edomites. What's other better peace than that? Like, what if we at camp, man? Most High Way, if he give us his grace, we just up there, and all the cops just say, hey, I got 10 minutes. Whoop as many as you can.
We running around just.
And guess what? That's how here you can take our car. We'll roll with you. It's gonna roll up on some Edomites. How they do us, right? How they do us. Roll up for which I got and let's do a search and seizure. Man, I ain't even. Did you reach for something? You know what I'm saying? Just think about this thing, man.
Green Diamond Star jerseys all.
Oh man.
I'm telling you. Huge massacre happened at Dallas West End Station. A whole lot of Caucasians died today. Yeah, a lot of them. But just think about this thing, man. Think how much the Lord is with these brothers and sisters, man. That Mordecai, the things Mordecai had to deal with, the thing Esther and them had to endure in order even for them to get this far. Think if they got out of order one time with the Lord. If Esther didn't listen to Mordecai at least one time, if Mordecai didn't listen to the Lord just one time, this would have been a completely different story, man. This is about staying in order and watching the Lord fight for you. And then the Lord literally let you fight too. I mean, think about this thing, man. Lord willing, we make it. We make it. And we get to see the angels. We get to see Christ killing these Edomites. And then all of a sudden, you see the angels just tell you, come on. And you get to come, you get to whoop on some Edomites, man. Whoop on some Elamites. Some damn stanky ass Hamites, man. Just think if the Lord give you that much grace, man. Man, that's tough, man. They ain't show them no mercy. None at all. Zilch, man. Read, verse 5.
Verse 5, verse 9, or chapter 9.
Yeah, chapter 9, verse 5.
Chapter 9, verse 5. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword,
Mm.
and slaughter, and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
And they did everything how the Lord told them to do, man. Read.
And in Shushan, the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
So just in the palace alone, they killed 500 of them, man. Watch this. Jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. And the king said unto Esther, the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's province?
So guess what, man? They done got Haman's sons too. Because remember, he was boasting and bragging about all his many children, right? Read.
Now, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king,
Read.
let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan
Mhm.
to do tomorrow, also according unto this day's decree, and let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon gallows.
So watch this. That was the 13th day, right? But she said tomorrow on the 14th day, right? Watch this. It's all gonna come together. Y'all gonna be like, read.
And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan that they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
Read.
For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day, also of the month Adar,
Mm-hmm.
and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hand.
Right, read on.
But the other Jews that were in the king's province,
So guess what? They said the ones that was in Shushan, the one in the palace, they killed 300. They let the prey slide, right? Read. But it said the other Jews that was in all the other provinces, right? Read.
gathered themselves together and stood for their lives, and had rest for their enemies,
And how many they killed? Read.
and slew of their foes 75,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey.
It was a killing spree. 75,000.
Slaying Edomites.
I'm talking about slaying them. I'm talking about stepping your foot in the Edomite ass.
That's
Read,
real.
man. I'm telling you, this day is, man, this feast of Purim, man, this feast of step your
Yeah,
foot in the
Edomite ass day.
ass.
That's what they should have called it.
They should have called it. Whoop a nigga ass, man. Whoop Esau ass,
When they say when they didn't touch the prey, what they mean?
the animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they pray. So like the animals, things like that, the livestock and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Things that they could use to keep, afterwards and stuff. But read on.
Verse 17. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th
Matter
day,
of fact, so like jump down to 19.
verse 19. Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another.
What day is that?
So that was today, right now.
Exactly. Now you see why we celebrate these
That's why we
things.
got that speaker right there.
Yeah, well, we got that speaker. Those are the good portions right
That's a
there.
good portion right there. That's why we got these beautiful little
Little
lines.
line. That's a good portion as well.
So we just ain't whooping nobody Esau ass right now.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah, Lord. Give us a little bit. Give us a little bit. I mean, somebody touching my truck.
Look at that. I ain't like they y'all wasn't there when they broke into our truck, man.
That's
Hey,
what I'm saying.
you got us son.
It wasn't Purim.
Shit, I still got it.
It was a Cal 101 day.
Yeah.
Felt like Purim.
It felt like Purim that day. I know for real.
But 14th day, right? Read on, now verse 20.
Verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king of Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same year.
So guess what? Haman wanted to kill him on the 13th and 14th day, but they killed Haman on the 13th day and kept it on the 14th day and the 15th day. So the 2 days that he wanted to celebrate and kill us We killed his ass. Then took 2 more days to celebrate it
Right.
while we were still killing him. See how that goes? Read.
As the days were in, the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning unto a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another,
Right.
and gifts to the poor.
Twins. Who's the poor?
Precept or
Yeah, precept. That's what I want.
Isaiah 14 and 32.
Y'all praise. I in the spirit. What good? Go ahead, read on now.
Verse 23. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast Purim, lots.
See?
That is the lot to consume them and to destroy them.
I'm talking about this.
Hey,
That if the Lord literally reversed that thing, he cast pure and lots on them. So think about if he was to kill all the Jews, they would have had a day called Purim, and they would have been celebrating to kill us. But we got a day of Purim, and we killed their ass, man. Big con on that, man. Look, he cast a lot on us, but you try to put cases on us, but I put cases on us.
The cases on all of them.
Because there's nothing new under the sun. Like just like how we got days like these, what days do they celebrate? Thanksgiving, July,
Independence Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? They was killing us during them times. Guess what? We got our holy days, but we killing their ass.
Right.
And I love them. Those are the best ones. Well, they done. Some of the best ones, man. Well, watch this. Read on now.
verse 25. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he had devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons shall be hanged on the gallows.
So guess what? 14 through 32. That's just giving you the big summary of everything that's going on. I told you about Haman, told you about his devices, told you how Esther went and did it and got it reversed, right? Read.
Wherefore they called these days Purim.
Called them who?
Purim,
Purim, man. Read.
after the name of Purim.
Man, read.
Therefore, for all the words of this letter and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them and upon their seed,
Read.
and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail,
Right.
that they would keep these 2 days according to their right and according to their appointed time every year.
Every year. So every year we got to keep the Feast of Purim, man. Not only because it's a high holy day, but look at the meaning behind that thing, man. When you keep destruction of Nicanor, you got to know the meaning behind that thing, knowing what they went through, knowing why you celebrate these things. Guess what? We know why Esau celebrate the 4th of July. We know why he celebrate Christmas. We damn sure know why he celebrate all these things. But and when I'm gonna tell you, man, Esau be so into it, and guess what? We used to be into it too. We used to love Christmas. We had the spirit of Christmas on us, right? Oh, it's just that feeling, right? It's the most wonderful time of the year. You know how they do it. But guess what? This is the best time of the year right here. When you get to get in the spirit of Mordecai. Sisters get in the spirit of Esther, willing to do good works for the Lord so that, guess what? He can recompense the heathen fully on their head, man. Just think about these things, man. Like, just look at the spirit. These are the spirits we need to be in so that when we come together and we gather, we have a great ass time because we know what it's for. We know our purpose. We know the meaning behind it. And it hold a lot more weight when you know something, man. It does. Because, new brothers coming into the truth, they might have gathered on the feast day. They're like, man, I'm turning up, I'm partying. But I know we're partying for the Lord, but what are we really partying for? This is the reason right here, man. This is the season. Tis the season right here of whooping the Edomite ass, man. Sure, man, this is what it is, right? Read,
Verse 28. And that these days shall be remembered,
right,
and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
Oh, I just seen Abraham coming. Oh, I praise. Like, yeah, answer.
Yeah, I was on it.
Because I mean, think about it. What was the Assyrian captivity? That's when the northern tribe left.
Out of there.
So this is the Persian to me. This is
Yeah.
two captivities after. Come on, they was already gone. So this is just strictly talking about the Jews, Judah, the southern tribes, right? But jump down to. Might as well jump down to verse. Yeah, this go to 30. Read it out. We done, man. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus.
Damn, okay, so y'all, it's 127 provinces, right? And on that day, they killed 75,000 of the nations in 127 provinces. That's a lot of ass whoopings in a lot of places. Yeah. That's literally like Texas. Everywhere in Texas, they just getting their ass whooped.
They put out a big like bottle.
Yeah. And think about how wicked Haman is. He was gonna put 10,000 on whoever brought them an Israelite. 10,000 for all them people in 127 provinces. You got money like that to blow. Look how the Lord turned it back on their head, man. It's tough, man. Read, dog.
They look like the purge, man. So we're just attacking one another. We just attacking their head.
This is just judgment day. Exactly what it is. Read.
And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus with the words of peace and truth,
Right. Read.
to confirm these days of Purim and their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fastings and their cry.
Right. Read.
And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
It's written right here, man. It was written in the book, man. And they said it was meant to be ordained from us and our seeds, man, forever and ever. But hey, man, this is the spirit that you gotta have coming into Purim. Hey, man, that's the class. I appreciate it, brothers and sisters, man, for tuning in, watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in to all the Battle Axes videos. We got videos all the way from Sunday to Sunday. We got constant videos, man, constant edification going in and out the page. Check it out, man. Get built up and continue to celebrate these high holy days, man. Thank you, brothers and sisters that gave to the GoFundMe, the Cash App. The money being greatly used for the edification of the nation. Guess we're being greatly used. So guess we'll provide us with ample things to do to continue to magnify this great thing that we got going. To have the good feast days, to have a good time amongst one another, continue to come into a building, to do all these things that's pleasing to our Lord, man. To have Wi-Fi to post the videos for brothers and sisters who can't be around across the four corners of the earth. I know there's a brother on here that's from Southeast Asia. We know he can't make it a Sabbath class every Saturday. If he could, I'll praise. If he can't, hey, that's why we have Wi-Fi. These things got to get paid.
Cherry, make it every Saturday.
Yeah, man. Hey, Lord willing, hey, guess what? We all make it to the kingdom. We ain't gonna miss not a damn Sabbath. But guess what? As of right now, man, them arms being greatly used, man. The spiritual arms that brothers and sisters put in, man. Mighty and righteous prayers, mighty fastings for the nation, doing all the things pleasing to the Lord so we can go to hell home, man. The water, man. The water, man. Yahweh for this class, man. But at the end of every class, we finish with a law, statute, or commandment. This time, we're going to get a statute. We're going to go to Esther and Apocrypha. Esther and Apocrypha, man. We're going to read chapter 1, verse 9 through 13. 9 through 13. We're going to get out of here, man. Nobody stepped their foot in the Edomite ass, man. Wait till we make it to the kingdom and celebrate these high holy days, man. I don't want to see none of y'all on no newsletter. Nobody ask for no bond money, no Texas Latino. I don't want to see y'all on no Fox. Nobody. Y'all cold. All y'all out there in Memphis, wherever y'all at across the four corners of the earth, do not step your foot and eat them like that.
Yes, you got to.
If it be possible. I didn't see nothing. You didn't hear it from me. Right? But Esther and Apocrypha, chapter 10, verse 9.
This the rest of the book of Esther, chapter 10 and verse 9. And my nation is this Israel.
Who?
And my nation is this
The
Israel,
Lord said, my nation is this Israel, right? He didn't call no other nation his nation, right? Read.
which cried to God and were saved.
Read.
For the Lord had saved his people.
Who?
His
It's
people.
another precept brothers can put in there, man. He saved his people. Guess what? My nation, Israel, his people, right? Read.
And the Lord had delivered us from all those evils.
Mhm.
And God had wrought signs and great wonders,
Right.
which have not been done among the Gentiles.
That's right. Read on.
Therefore, had he made two
The
lots,
Lord made two lots. Feast of Purim, we know it's about a lot, right? He made two lots. Read.
one for the people of God and another for all the Gentiles.
Guess what? It's either you gonna make it to the kingdom or you're not gonna make it to the kingdom. That's the lot for Israel and that's a lot for the Gentiles. But guess what? Not all Gentiles is the other nation too, because we got people in the Gentile state of mind, right? So it's only two lots. And guess what? The Lord always do things in two: life or death, good or evil, blessings or cursings, the kingdom, or everlasting contempt, right? Read.
And these two lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment.
And the who?
And day of judgment
See, read.
before God among all nations.
So all nations gonna either have to get one of these lots, man. But all nations can't get into the Israel one, so all nations gonna go into the Gentiles one, man. But Israel, y'all make sure y'all go through Israel by keeping the Lord's law, statutes, commandments. Read.
So God remembered his people,
Who?
his people,
Read.
and justified his inheritance.
Man, the Lord is a very possessive person. He loved what he loved and liked what he liked. Read.
Therefore, those days shall be unto them in the month Adar,
Read.
the 14th and 15th day of the same month,
Read.
with an assembly and joy.
Enjoy, man. Have fun with this stuff, man. That's why I chose to come out with this class and be joyful about it. Because you gotta have joy with this thing. Have fun. Enjoy what your forefathers and foremothers did righteously to keep us here. Think if they didn't fight for us. Think if they chose to just be a nigga or a nigga woman that day. We probably wouldn't even be here today. Probably wouldn't have. Because the thing is, all of our forefathers had to read about us and how they stood up for the Lord. All our forefathers had to read about the Maccabees and how they stood up for the Lord. If they never did that, we had nothing to read about. We have nothing to stand for. But the things that they did, the things they did for their God, we got to set the same example, man. Read.
And with gladness before God.
Because even when you remember, like, why did we get in trouble for not serving the Most High God with joyfulness and gladness?
Gladness and what? And where's that at?
Deuteronomy 28, 47, 48.
Yeah. You ain't got it.
Mm-hmm.
No
Do it off the backboard.
I ain't got no cards, nothing. Hey,
So, man,
no precept cards, nothing.
All praises, man. All praises, man. Read.
And with gladness before God, according to the generations, forever,
How long?
forever,
Among who?
among his people.
So Purim has to be kept from generation to generation from his people. Amen. And with that, man, we're gonna say Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Remember
Before winds our falling, and repent and do the first word of the Lord, and repent and remember salvation.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel.